Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Yanks to the Cop. Tonight we're going to be doing our Man United versus Liverpool preview, one of the biggest games in the calendar. So tonight I'm joined by, obviously, Sophie as usual. Andrew and Stephen can't make it tonight, so it's just going to be us running the show. And tonight we've got a recurring guest, Tom, who was here for us with in the FA Cup and also the previous game. And it's not obviously been great results for Liverpool both times. So Tom has a right to gloat, but
I plan on.
but yeah, we are here for tonight to give our preview of tomorrow's big game and to see, where the match is going to be won, and just kind of go through the motions of that game. Hi Chris, good to see you. So just as we start, we're going to do opening statements. So anyone can just say what they want. So we'll start with you, Tom. Any statement you've got in terms of the Man United Liverpool game?
Yeah, so thanks for having me back again. Much appreciated. This is the hat-trick. Undefeated also, so I think that is a good omen for us. I think tomorrow's game is a little bit different from the last time we played in the league. So I think we went really cautious. I made a really good opportunity to beat you because you were in really poor form when we played in January. I think this time around it's very. Oh, you were. It wasn't great.
No, we're still in poor form. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, sorry. I thought I said we. So I think with this time around, not much has changed. Like as in, I think we've probably got better since we played you. It all depends on how Ollie approaches the match. Like if we same formation, same approach as we did against Roma, I think it's a comfortable win for us. If he does what he normally does when we play Liverpool, it's going to be a 0-0 draw. Maybe 1-1, but I think we should win.
Thank you, Chris. Tom, what about you, Soph?
The stubborn part of me wants to be like, this would be like any other, Liverpool United derby where dead rough for 20 minutes, loads of tackles are getting thrown about, and then it comes out as a 0-0 draw or a 1-1 draw. That's what the stubborn part of me is saying. But seeing the form that United have been on the last couple of games, 4 out of 5 wins, they're doing quite well in the Europa League. As much as it pains me to say it and give you any form of praise, you have been playing really nice football. Oh, there's the dog. You've been playing really, really nice football, and we are struggling. And I think this is the time where United are going to try and capitalise on that. Because if it was the shoes on the other foot, we'd be doing the same thing. Like, without a doubt, we'd be capitalising on your struggles, and you know where our issues lie. Like, it's very blatantly obvious where Liverpool are struggling this season, especially the last run of games. We've struggled massively against teams that we should be walking through. And United is always a difficult game for us to play. So I am worried about tomorrow. And I think if we don't go in with nothing to lose, we are going to come away with no points from that game whatsoever. And that's just being realistic with the way we are at the minute. But then again, I've also lost all hope, and I just don't care anymore. I just want the season to be over. Like, the sooner Sunday is over, the better. Like, I don't care. Don't care. Doesn't matter to me.
I think for me going to this game, I'm not confident at all. Due to injuries you've got and certain players that she'll get on in the actual rundown of the game that are going to impact us tomorrow. And also, I was just looking at a quick stat. I was going to put as my kind of opening statement. It's the fact that the last 9 showdowns between Liverpool and United, Liverpool have lost once, while United's FA Cup win was only the second win in the last 22 games across all competitions between the two sides. But in with that, I'm not at all confident on Sunday, and I feel that it's going to be a long afternoon for Liverpool with the form United are in. So let's go into the rundown. So looking into this match in more detail, so Tom, United coming to this game, on the back of having won 4 out of the last 5, you're probably guaranteed. No, you are guaranteed second spot now. There's nothing for you to really fear in terms of the catching pack in Leicester, Chelsea, West Ham. They're not going to catch you. So, like, how do you feel, in terms of the rest, in terms of the season, in terms of the league? And do you feel like this is like a game that's nothing to lose for United, because it doesn't matter if you win or lose because you're safe now in terms of second?
So no, I don't. So like, I don't think if we win tomorrow, I think second is done. At the moment, we're like 4 points. I think 4 points above Leicester with a game in hand. We lose tomorrow, we're 4 points clear. We still have Leicester to play. So like it could, like, it's not done and dusted just yet. Although I wouldn't bet against it. But like, I think tomorrow for me is like, win that game. We should play a strong team. We'll get into selections and stuff later. But like, if we win that game tomorrow, then we can actually take our foot off the gas, I think, for the rest of the season and just focus on the Europa League. If we lose tomorrow, then I think we still have work to do to get second. Like, it would be a massive like catastrophe if we fell away now and Leicester pipped us to second. Or so like I still think we need to win tomorrow for that to not happen.
I want to ask, just I have to ask.
Go.
Obviously, there's no doubt that you've had a good season this season. You've played, good football, but you have benefited quite a lot from VAR and penalty decisions. There's a reason that your top goal scorer has got more penalties than free play goals. I think my question to you is, not taken away from your season this year at all, because credit where credit's due. Well done for getting second. Do you think it's achievable to maintain that next year, knowing that Liverpool are going to be back on form and a lot of other Premier, the top six, are going to be back on form as well, because a lot of people, yourselves included, have struggled with injuries this season and struggled financially and not benefited from fans. With all that coming back, do you think it's going to be manageable or not manageable? Do you think it's going to be appropriate for you to say, yes, we'll still get top 2, top 4? Or do you think
next season?
Yeah,
so I think like I think this season, let's okay, there's a couple of pieces here so far. So VAR, I don't think Liverpool fans can ever talk to another team about VAR decisions, right?
Oh no.
Liverpool, I think, was trending many times last season.
From yesterday, please. Get those stats out from yesterday.
Anyway, so penalties, okay, I think it swings and roundabouts. I think it does, like, it levels itself out over the course of a season. Like, we get a lot of penalties, but like, is that because we're playing? Is that because we're playing quite attacking football and we're constantly putting pressure in another? Who's diving?
Really, Fernandez?
Well, it's not him going down every time. He just happens to be scoring the pen.
Every time he doesn't even get touched and he rolls on the floor.
We're not second. We're not second because we got penalties.
Yes,
okay?
you are.
Rashford.
Yes, you are.
Rashford.
Yeah.
Salah. Are Liverpool? Are we gonna have this? Like, I mean, come on. Last season.
I will give you that Salah goes down easy. I will give you that. But we're not awarded those penalties. You are lucky that you are awarded them. If you didn't have your penalties, half of your games don't count as wins.
But that would apply to every team who has penalties.
But you are top of the table for benefiting from penalties in VAR.
Who was top last season? When you won the league? You can't remember. That's weird. When you won the league, you swear you'd never forget. Anyway, but anyway.
Got memory loss.
That's crazy.
34
but okay, so that's one part, right? The second part is next season. So I'll admit, like, that I didn't expect us to be second this year. I really didn't. I would have taken the top 4. Like, we should always be challenging, but like, I didn't expect Liverpool to fall off as much as they have. City, obviously, okay, they're running away with it. I thought when Chelsea signed those players that, like, Jesus, what a squad! Like, they're going to do unbelievably. And I think if Tuchel had been there at the start of the season, right through now, I think Chelsea's a different story. So next season, we've got to compete with Chelsea, who I think will be phenomenal, and they've got money to spend. City are going to be up there again, no matter what. Liverpool, it'll be interesting because, like, let's assume you don't make Champions League, so you're going to have to go Thursday, Sunday with Europa League, which I can tell you is a nightmare for your fixtures. Like, it's just really shit. Then you're, like, financially, you mentioned, like, if Liverpool don't get in the Champions League, like, I don't know how much money you have. I don't know the finances of FSG, but like, I can't imagine it's going to be great for you to kind of invest money in your team. So What I'm saying is, and this is really harsh on a Liverpool podcast, but I wouldn't be too worried about Liverpool next year. And I'm not saying that to like, I'm not saying that to spike. The reason I'm saying that, I swear to God, the reason I'm saying that is because, and I'm going to get pelters, I know, in chat, but like, I'll tell you why. It's not because like, oh, Liverpool are shit. Like, it's not. It's because I think City are going to improve their team. I think Chelsea are going to improve their team, and they have a better coach now. So they're straight away two teams that are going to be probably ahead of you. Then you guys need to do work. Your squad's so paper thin. You've got Virgil back running, but he's running really weird. So I don't even think I don't know what's going on with him at the moment. Look, you're going to have to sign people. So and I don't know where the money is. So I'm kind of like Liverpool. Okay, like, is there a bit of burnout there? Maybe.
But the thing is, you're sitting there saying we need to sign people, which is undeniable. We do. We need to pick up players. You know, no Liverpool fan would be, absolutely blindsided enough to say that we don't need those improvements in the squad. We are running thin on a squad, especially with obviously Gini Wijnaldum most likely not renewing his contract. But to say you're not frightened of Liverpool is like famous last words. Liverpool thrive on being the underdogs. Like, we are always thought of as never being a threat. But can I just say, you're second again. Well done, bravo. But we are the only team in the Premier League that has been able to take it to City. This season is an anomaly. It's a blip. And I didn't expect us to fall as far from grace as we did. But we have. And you've got to be realistic about that. Like, this has not been a normal season for Liverpool at all.
We beat City and drew with them.
I'm not saying you didn't beat City, but I'm saying we took it to City. Like, we are the only team, since City have gone to form and gone to top team, we are the only team that's been able to go toe-to-toe with City and challenge them. You still, even in your best season under Ole, your best season in years, you haven't been able to even be close to City. They're still running away with the league. They are still running away with it. So imagine Liverpool. I know we've got work to do, and we might not be able to get first. We might not be able to win the Premier League again next year. But I think when we're back up and running, even if we have the same squad as last season, fully fit, that squad fully fit is still better than United's squad.
It's not.
It is.
Your starting 11
is better than your starting 11, because our starting 11 has won us titles. Your starting 11 has done nothing for considerable amount of time.
Yeah, to a degree. So I think our starting 11 is quite fresh this season. So, like, I think it's a little bit different. However, what I would say is that it's the squad. It's your squad that's going to let you down. So, like, you've got Shaqiri, who was at Stoke, and now, like, he's coming off your bench to try and fucking smack a goal in from 60 yards or whatever. You've got, I don't even know. I play Football Manager. I don't even know who your backup centre backs are. Kablak, whatever his name is, garbage. Reese, these kids, awful, like absolute garbage. And we have Lindelof and Harry Maguire, who I would say, we could probably upgrade them. And then I look at Liverpool's defence, and it's like Joe Gomez, like, you're putting all your hopes in him. Good luck. Luke Chadwick won a Premier League. Like, that's not it. That's not a. John O'Shea has five winners, 5 league titles. It doesn't make him Maldini. But my point is,
because you've come second doesn't mean you're automatically like prime creme de la creme.
I don't think we are. What I'm saying is, I'm more worried about Chelsea and City than I am Liverpool. That's not to say. Well, it's not to say that I think Liverpool are shit. Like, I'm not. I'm just saying I'm more concerned about City and Chelsea. And again, if you look at the league table, it's hard to argue with that. Like,
no, I'm not going to argue. If you look at the
table, what I'll say, Tom, is you have to put context in it. It's a freak season. We've had half our players are injured. Mm-hmm. No other team ever in the Premiership had that many injuries to the star players. Not to the star players, not to the start 11. Not when you had like your three main centre backs out injured.
Sure.
In your first start 11.
No, I mean, I think the whole world knew Virgil was injured. Like, you were that close to, I think, having a funeral for him at one stage.
Like, I'm not being funny.
Then Hendo, you had captain out injured as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So those are big players missing out. That's like Man City having Diaz, Laporte, Stones, and then De Bruyne out injured.
No, City are an anomaly, right? Because they did have Aguero out, they had De Bruyne out, so they've had injuries, but they're a freak, right? So I would even consider City. Yeah, exactly. I'd consider City ahead.
For Chelsea,
But you still have the same issue. Let's say Henderson and Verge are back fit. That's for all of next season, right? So let's say they are back. You you still have to sign players. You're still going to have to make your squad better. Your starting 11 is good, but Jurgen Klopp's biggest downfall, maybe not, because you won a league, right? So and a Champions League. So I'm not taking anything away, but you absolutely burnt the shit out of them for 2 or 3 seasons where it was constantly the same players playing over and over again. It got you success. This season, you can kind of see what happens when 1 or 2 key players get injured, and then it's just gone to shit. So next season, that's why I'm kind of and this is your point, Sophie, that next season, am I worried about Liverpool? I'm only worried about Liverpool on the same par that I'm worried about Chelsea and City. If you were to spend or bulked out your squad by 3 or 4 good quality players, then I'd be okay, yeah, Liverpool are an issue again.
I just want to say that, you're saying, yes, we do need signings. There's no denying that we do. We need to thicken up our squad. At the minute, we are running very, very thin.
Mm-hmm.
And our squad has brought us immense success, but equally, like you've just said rightfully,
your starting 11 has brought you great success, though, right?
We're seeing the fallout of burning those players out. There's no denying that. And Wahomey, I'm sure you'd agree, we do need signings. That is understandable in any team. But can I just say, if you lost all of your centre-backs, right? You lost your captain. You lost your midfielder. You lost Bruno because he was your most recent signing, like our Thiago was. You lost him. You lose your captain. You lose Lindelof. You lose Maguire. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You lose your Aaron Wan-Bissaka for the period of time due to COVID. Your front 3 get ill with COVID. Your new front 3 signing gets an injury. You wouldn't be in any better position than Liverpool are right now. Because but you're saying that your team has progressed so much, and you have progressed. You've done a very good job this season. But if the roles were switched and the shoe was on the other foot, you would be cry-arsing that this is not a normal season and that Manchester United are going to come back because you've suffered all these losses. Just like Liverpool fans have been saying, like myself included, we have lost significantly this season. But you can't say that you're not. I genuinely, my mind's boggled how you can say you're not fearing Liverpool, knowing what they're capable of, knowing that we're going to add to the squad this year. We might not be able to add millions and millions and millions of pounds worth of players, but we've already said that we're signing Canate. We're already signing the centre back who's going to replace Joe Gomez. And that team that's coming back, are the team that have absolutely put you off your perch. And you're now saying you're disrespecting them, saying that you're not frightened of them. You're frightened more of Chelsea. Now, I'm sorry, but if the shoe was on the other foot, I would never be frightened of Chelsea more than I was frightened of Man United. Respect where respect's due.
Yeah,
but what form you're in, I'm more concerned about you than Chelsea every single time. No matter how good a season or how bad a season you've had, playing United is always that moment over playing Chelsea. Chelsea are irrelevant.
So I think if you look at what Chelsea did in the summer, the players they've signed and their squad is absolutely phenomenal. The biggest downfall was the fact that they had Frank Lampard as a manager. Tuchel has come in. Since he's come in, Chelsea have looked phenomenal. Potentially getting to a Champions League final, which would have been didn't look possible. FA Cup final, possibly. Chelsea in the FA Cup final? They might be. Next season, they're going to spend money because they won't be affected by COVID with Abramovich's money. So when I look at that and I think of Chelsea's squad, and then I look at Liverpool's squad, I'm like, Jesus. I would fear Chelsea more. It's not a disrespect to Liverpool. I'm not saying these are shit, or I'm not saying Liverpool are garbage.
I think we're going to be here all night arguing this. Let's move on. Let's move on to the chat.
Liverpool are good. That's all. I'll end at that.
No, we're not. We're not disagreeing. We're just.
Let's move on.
I argue with everyone.
We've got a show to do, so here we are not arguing. Our point. Okay, so reading the chat, Chris Wells says, "I'm always nervous going to these games. Losing is an option, no matter where we're both teams are in the league." Eric Padap says, "Huge respect to Kvarni for coming to the league at this age and doing such a great pro job. What a dude." Victoria says, "Hi, Sophie, Thomas. Well, hey, good to see you, Victoria." Chris says, "I'm not confident in this game, but be typical Liverpool to win this game. They don't beat Southampton in the next game." I don't see it that way. Victory says it's done and dusted. There's no way we're beating United. I'm probably fearing what Victory's saying is the truth on Sunday. Eric said the Euros are between this season and next season. Everyone's going to be still drained and tired. Probably, I think that will make a massive effect. Steven says United FC, more like Penalty FC. Okay. Oscar's LFC behind me with a fresh trim, like Teresa. Yeah, I got that quite a few times. Chris Ross, Man United deserve credit for winning the league in January. Well, Steven says Liverpool with this team have won a Champions League and Premier League. What have United done to do that yet? Nothing yet. Chris Welsh, Man United progress since 2017-18 season, really. A combined 11 should be good. Oscar says, comment of the year that close for having a funeral for Virgil. Too funny. That was funny, Chris. Tom. Steven says, the roles were switched. United had so many injuries and they made excuses, but yet criticize us. There's nothing to do with injuries. That shows everyone hates Liverpool with a passion. Steven says, well said, Sophie. Okay,
I'm just going to say one more thing and then I promise I'll shut up. I promise. I just feel like it's a lot of disrespect on Liverpool's name. I know there's a rivalry. I know there's a lot of deep-rooted tension between our two clubs. I understand that. And, I feel it too. And if the shoe was on the other foot, like I'd be saying pretty similar things to you, but I don't think I'd ever disrespect United by saying they're not a threat. Because even when United aren't their best, they're still a threat. I still go into every season going, I hope to God they're shit. I hope to God they fuck up. I hope to God we beat them, because there's nothing worse than losing to your biggest rivals. And I don't think personally, I don't think I would ever shut up, Chris. I don't think I would ever disrespect my biggest rivals by saying I'm not scared of them. Because
I didn't say I'm not scared of Liverpool. I just said I'm more scared.
You were worried about Liverpool next season.
I'm more worried about Chelsea and City.
You said
you're still a threat.
Liverpool next season. I would never turn around and say I'm not worried about United, because I am always worried about United. And that's famous last words, because I hope to God you come on next season.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I really hope
wait.
to God.
I can't wait. I can't wait. When you've signed Joe Allen and I don't know, someone else. Someone else. Like, it depends. If you sign really good players, then you're back. Like, obviously, then.
I'll say this to end it. I'll say this: Arsenal were in the Champions League. They got Partey, who's a good, and then he signed a wall. It wasn't for Lewis. United were in the Champions League. Didn't you buy? You bought some big players when you went in the Champions League.
The first time around with Jose, we bought Pogba, Zlatan, Mkhitaryan.
You bought some big players. So I'll just say it's possible. So it's not Champions League is.
It's just the money. It's the money thing this year. I think.
Liverpool's reputation doesn't fall away from one bad season.
Yeah,
no, it's not.
Don't just suddenly go on Liverpool and
players who want to play for Klopp. But
I agree.
Let's move on.
It's the money. It's the money. That's the only. I'm not saying that Liverpool are shit. Players don't want to play for you. It's the finances. This whole European Super League was because everyone needed money, and I think without that and no Champions League.
You were in that too.
I know. I'm saying we
obviously need money as well, then.
100%. But I'm saying our squad is better than yours.
You can go toe to toe with Liverpool, a fully 100%. Fit Liverpool, toe to toe with Chelsea, toe to toe with City. You think your squad is that good? You can go.
I think I started 11. I think we couldn't give them a game. Yeah.
Oh,
We've showed it this season, sure.
You're not going to.
Where everybody else underneath you has struggled massively. If we'd have been on form, there's no chance you'd have been second.
But if you were on form, but like,
Yeah, I think we're going to be.
If this, so why can't I say if we were on form, you wouldn't have been anywhere near second. You just scraped.
Okay. But that's like saying, so we'll take Leicester's league title off them because, well, if City and Chelsea and United and Liverpool were in form,
relevant? It's not
because. But like, I don't understand. I don't understand what your point is.
So you're saying that Liverpool are nothing to be frightened of, essentially, because you're more frightened of Chelsea, because Chelsea's squad, because we need to improve with money.
Yes. Yeah.
You need to improve with money. And my point is,
we're already ahead.
Even without improving our squad, the squad we have beat you. And the squad we have will beat you again. And if we hadn't suffered our injuries this year, we would have been toe-to-toe again. We'd have tried really hard. I don't think we probably would have retained our title, but I think we'd be easily in top 4, and you wouldn't be sitting in second. And that's not just for Liverpool; that's for all other clubs around us.
Okay.
The
Okay.
season is an anomaly.
So because this is an anomaly, right? Let's say we'll catch up again next season,
Love it,
okay?
can't wait.
When we play, and we'll see where we're at then, because it is an anomaly, like because there is a lot of if this didn't happen, but if this did happen, so it's difficult to kind of argue that out, do you know? Because it's like, okay, well, but it did happen. So Virgil's going to be back in training, right? He's done. He's
Can't wait for 2 foot,
come
yeah.
back from the dead.
Well,
He's back, and then
I'm
we'll
gonna run the slip. You're not gonna win this argument. It's two
go.
different.
We're just
Go.
talking.
It's two
Go.
different points of view. We have to preview the rest of the
I
Man
feel
United
like I
Liverpool game.
need time out.
Yes, so let's move on. So going on, what was I going to ask? Yeah, so you're looking like United beat the curse of getting past semi-finals recently. They're looking like they're going to get past it because I think the tie with Roma's done. So it looks like they're going to beat the curse of semi-finals. So obviously there's still a lot of kind of like people. Some saying Ollie in still, some saying Ollie out. Just winning the UEFA Cup and getting second prove that Ollie's the right man for you in your sense. And will you feel that will prove to all of the Man United fans that Ollie's the right man going forward for them, because there's still that difference, and I'm still seeing people get rid of him even though you're nearly through to a final.
Yeah, so like I mentioned this previously on the pod when I was on that, like, I'm not 100% convinced on Ollie, right? Which I get pelters for. Like, I know it sounds mental considering the season we've had, considering, we're about to go into a final. So I do get pelters off my mates about me saying, like, I'm not 100% on the Ollie train. But, like, I go back to things like he makes decisions sometimes that I can't get my head around. I can't understand it from a United manager. And I always go back to, like, when we played you in January, we had an opportunity to go 6 points clear, right at the top of the table. And it was an unreal situation we found ourselves in, be it by, injuries and whatever else. We weren't expected to be there, but we were there. He approached that game like so negatively, and like it was a 0-0 draw. He came out after the match saying, "Oh, we're not even in the title race." Like, I don't know what people are all talking about. A few weeks later, we lose to Sheffield United, and then he comes out and says, "Well, we never give up. We never give up on the title race." And it's like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? Like, how can you say 2 weeks ago that we're not in a title race? Then, when we're absolutely out of it now, you then go, well, we won't give up. Like, it just annoys me. And he does little small shit like that I find it very difficult to get my head around, right? All that being said, we have been phenomenal in the last, I don't know what it is. I think we've lost once in 20 Premier League games, something like that. Like, it is really good. The Europa League form has been really good. The Roma match kind of epitomizes, like, I suppose, everything that I'd want to see us play. No, we did not that we scored 6 goals, right? We don't obviously have to score 6 goals every game. But it was just how we played. Big match. We went down. We came out in the second half. We tore it up. So, like, if we do go and win, okay, if the season ends with us being second and winning the Europa League, which I actually think is probably a really achievable thing to win right now. Like, we've been favourites for it since we came out of the Champions League.
Sorry.
I'd have to say he's proven me wrong. Like, of course I would. I'd give him credit where it's due. I'm not stubborn. Like, I won't be like, Ollie out still. But, like, I think he needs to show this kind of big club mentality that he should have as a player of the club. But I've sometimes I've yet to see it. So, like, again, I always go back to the Liverpool match. It's just such an annoyance because we could have gone 6 points clear at the top of the table in mid-January. Ferguson used to always say, like, if you were within 2 points of the leaders at halfway point in January, you're in a title race. And then for Ollie to come out and just say, we're not in a title race, was just like, what is going on here? But like, I mean, if he wins the Europa League and finishes second, it would be very, very difficult to say, like, he doesn't deserve time. He doesn't deserve a couple of years or whatever to see how it goes. But I think he has big pressure on him next year.
He's getting a new contract, isn't he, as well? They said.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I think that, like, apparently it's all done and they'll announce it like with United and like press releases and all this kind of shit. When they announce news, it's always around, like, if something positive happens, they throw out some positive spin. Okay, so when it's negative, it's always like transfer rumors. So, like, the whole Super League debacle or whatever, right? It was then like, oh, we're going to sign Haaland, and all the fans go, oh, that'd be good. So kind of like so they hope they forget about something. So I think Ollie's deal will probably be announced if we win the Europa League or when the season's finished or something like that. I think you'd expect to hear that. But again, with that new contract comes a lot of responsibility, pressure. It's like Spider-Man. Comes a lot of pressure because we have to improve next season. So like the only way to improve on coming second and winning the Europa League is to go far in the Champions League or win the league or have a really good title challenge. So it'd be interesting to see what he can do next year. But he's done well. Like I can't say, yeah, probably between us and Chelsea. No, I joke.
No way on this God's green earth you're ever going to be able to beat City.
Yeah, so I know. Like I don't think we'll. Like I'm not saying we're going to win it. Like I think that's where he needs to get to to not have pressure on him.
But you'll always have pressure. Like speaking as a fan of the team who won the Champions League last year, I love that comment there. You know, we felt the pressure more after winning the Champions League and the Premier League in back-to-back seasons. Like, I understand what you're saying. Like, for Ole, like the next step would be that we have a really good challenge and title race, or win the Champions League, or win the Premier League. Like that is every manager's goal. And when you've achieved second, that's the next step, obviously. But it will never relieve the pressure, ever. And I don't think, for me, Ole will be able to deal with that pressure.
I'd agree.
Having to go for a top team. Like he's done remarkably well. Like we all took the absolute proverbial.
So did I.
Ole behind the wheel. Like everyone did it. We all took Rio. Go get the contract out. Give him money. Like we ran with that forever. And we can't deny that he's had a really good season. He's done a very, very good job with the team this season. Mm-hmm. And you have seen improvements this season. But last season, you just scraped top 4.
Yeah, I know.
And you got kicked out of Champions League. And you were back in Europa. And it's things like that. And like you said yourself, you were perfectly right with he says these little inconsistent things. Like he's not sure in his head himself what his next step is or what his clear path is. And the strategy is not there. And for me, a top flight manager needs to understand every avenue and what you can do, where he can go from here and how to improve his squad and be very tactical about it. And I just don't think Ole has that. And I feel United got a manager like Jurgen Klopp, like Pep Guardiola, like Tuchel, any manager like that who was a statistician, any manager like that, I'd be sitting there going, oh my God, I'm really frightened of United. But for me, while you've still got Ole, I don't think you're going to hit those heights. I think you're not going to be something to be not scared of because you're always going to be something to fear because you are a very big club. But I don't feel like with Ole, I don't think he'd handle that pressure very well. And because he can't handle the pressure, I don't think you're going to achieve those things under Ole. Not saying you won't achieve them because at some point you will. Because, football swings around, but it's history. The dog's just like burying. But I don't think Ole's going to be the manager that gets you them. I think you're going to have to cut your ties with them and find someone better if you want to win the Champions League or the Premier League.
Yeah, I can't argue with any of that. I would share very similar sentiments on that. Like that's why I said I think next season is more pressure for him because if he finishes second and wins Europa League, he has to go up. And I would share the sentiment that I'm not sure if he is the person to take us there. But I'm happy to be proved wrong. Like I would be the happiest man if Ollie wins the league, and I'd be like, yeah, I was totally wrong, Sir Ollie. But I don't know if he'll do it. Sir Ollie. I don't know if he'll do it.
Just reading some of the comments here. So Chris Wells says, you still get money for being in Europa League. Okay, not as much as the Champions League, but you can still attract players for the size of club. Klopp out thinks it's going to be United winning 3-1. Chris Wells is the first time I've seen a stream that isn't what Homie and Sophie arguing.
Is that it? That's it. Sorry, FSG out, Klopp out.
Yeah.
Do some Liverpool fans want Klopp gone?
Only some do, for a very, very small margin of them.
Wow.
But that's a different story.
You want Ole out constantly, or every player has a bad game, and suddenly so and so out. It's that kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't take them. Although he's we don't mind him being here. I don't take a lot of the stuff seriously. Chris Wells, FSG out is right out to the dress for this occasion. FC Club Hat says Thomas Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes will be the only player in Premier League history to become top scorer by penalties. Well, I tweeted the other day that Liverpool made a big mistake by not signing Fernandes for United did, because I think he's
don't want him.
Sophie, I don't know what Sophie says. Yeah.
This is not me saying it because he signed for United. I didn't want Bruno Fernandes. I didn't want him. I don't think, even though I know he's a good player, I know he's a fantastic player, but I don't think he'd fit very well in the Liverpool squad. And yourself, Tom, you'd say the same. He doesn't fit. He fits United. He plays very well with your style of play, but I don't think he fits Liverpool very well. I don't think he'd gel, and he wouldn't hit the heights that he's capable of with our squad, and I never wanted him.
I disagree with that. I think in a 4-2-3-1 formation, he'd be perfect as a number 10. He's strong defensively and he's strong offensively. He creates lots of chances United, big game scorer, and he's perfect. Exactly what we need. When we look at midfield, attacking midfield.
You've got to take into account the players that we have that are instant starters. You know yourself that Klopp is a loyal manager. There's no way that he'd be signing a player like Bruno Fernandes to put him on the bench, because that's what he'd be.
But surely he starts ahead of like Wijnaldum or.
But if we're going 4-2-3-1, there's no way he's going against Henderson.
No, but he's different. He's a different player.
No way he's taking over Thiago.
It depends. It depends on what game you're playing. Depends what game.
But that's it. You're saying it depends on the game. You don't sign a player of the level of Bruno Fernandes for the money of Bruno Fernandes to be a depends on the game player. He's an instant starter for certain teams, and the fact that he's not going to be an instant starter for Liverpool tells me that he's not worth the money for us to be.
You could drop Firmino for him.
I'll drop him in for him.
He starts ahead of Firmino every day.
For me as well. Bobby's done now. So I'll drop him.
Sorry, and I'm happy that he's doing really well at United. I don't think for one second that he's not a fantastic player. I've got a lot of respect, and I think he's an amazing player. But the way Liverpool play, the way Liverpool are, the way Klopp is, it's not worth the money. Not that he wouldn't really fit. It's not worth the money.
I think he was only about 40 million or something. I don't think he was. I can't remember the exact fee we paid, but it wasn't much. Like
40 million to sit
on. Well, I think if you had him, I think you'd love him. Like I think what I've seen with Bruno is like he sprints all over the pitch. So I know Klopp likes to play a high press and high intensity, and Bruno does that. Like he sprints all over the shop. He is a leader. He's just a natural leader. He just shouts at everyone. He tells everyone where to go. He's which?
He dives.
But so does Salah.
You want that?
But Salah dives.
Any big
he doesn't get contact and he goes down.
But so does Salah.
Any big foreign player dives. If we were to sign Mbappe goes down easy all the time. Any of those big players that are foreign, they do that because it's what they're taught abroad. Because in European football,
Ronaldo went down. Like that's like saying you don't want Ronaldo because he goes down easy. But like, anyway, like it's not going to happen. It's completely hypothetical. He'll never go to Liverpool now. But I honestly think if you signed him at the time, I think you would love him. He would be one of your favorite players.
I might have changed my tune, but at the time when he was coming up for sale, he wasn't someone that I particularly wanted myself. And I'm sure, like yourselves, a lot of Liverpool fans will probably disagree with me, but that's the way I felt about him. And I go on a lot of feeling for players. Like if I get a good feeling about them, I want them. If I don't have a good feeling, I'm kind of like, I'm not really fussed. For me, I appreciate Bruno Fernandes. I have a lot of respect for him. I think he's a fantastic player. Again, just not really someone that I personally at that time wanted. Just my opinion. Just don't want him.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
But yeah, with me, reason why Liverpool didn't sign Fernandes at the time was because we had doubts over he could transform what he did in the Portuguese league in the Premiership, and that's why we didn't probably go for him. But otherwise, I always felt that he could transform because he was good at international level. But we did, and also at the time, I think we had limited money in terms of where we were spending the money, so we couldn't afford to then buy Fernandes and then buy other players in other positions. So, but yeah, I do feel that he's been a fantastic player, in terms of what he's done in the Premiership. So. I think it probably was. I think it was like the last season when he joined you, like the amount of points he won for you, like was ridiculous.
Yeah, when he came in, like the halfway. Yeah, he transformed us. We actually we drew his first match. We drew with Wolves, and then I don't think we lost the game nearly towards. God, hang on, this is like two. I can't remember the exact stats, but when he came in, I think he played like 18 matches or something, scored maybe 10, 12 goals, something like that, 9 assists, like something crazy. It was literally a flick of a switch. Ollie was nearly getting sacked after Christmas. Like, we had a horrible run. We lost to Burnley. We lost to, I can't remember, but it was a terrible run. Bruno came in and overnight he transformed that team. And he's just continued it on. Like, I didn't even know was it possible for him to take that form from last season, do it again this season, and he's gone up a level. And he's also starting to bring Pogba. Like, we're seeing the best of the Pogba now. We're seeing Cavani. Like, they are
finally unlocked Paul Pogba, have they?
Yeah.
Finally.
Cavani, Pogba, and Bruno. Holy Trinity. Unbelievable.
Oh,
Yeah.
You said he was decent. You said he wasn't a delusional United fan. I beg to feckin' differ.
Did you watch the match on Thursday? They were absolutely liquid.
You're calling them the holy fucking trinity. That's a... And you call Liverpool fans deluded for saying we've got world-class players. You took the shit out of us when we signed Virgil van Dijk for 75 million. He's not worth it. Best defender on the planet. You're now saying holy trinity? Holy fuck.
Yeah. When you look up the table, right? When you look up the table, you'll see the three boys there. And they'll be in the Europa League final as well.
Okay. Tell me when you've got 19 league titles, 6 European Cups. When you've got them, then you can call them the Holy Trinity. But right now, those boys have won feck all.
Okay. Well, let's see. We'll see.
I'm sorry. It's because you're a United fan. It's not you. It's just the club.
I know. It's okay. I don't take it personally.
Blade Brown says here, go to the chat. Man United will win tomorrow 2-1. They're a better team this season. Oscar Mar says, I'm Klopp out. We don't finish I don't agree with you whatsoever, but that's your opinion. Blade Brown says, Fernandes wouldn't want to join Liverpool anyways. Not true, but he is at Man United. It's never going to happen now. Oscar Marcus says, top 4. I think he means if we don't finish top 4. Blade Brown says, agree with the homie. I think he means on Fernandes. We could do with him. FSG out says, Thomas, would you give Cavani another 1-year contract, United?
Absolutely. I think it's done. There's a rumor that it's done, and again, that'll be announced shortly. But yeah, 100%. I again, when I was on the pod the first time around, I was saying that when we signed him, I was really skeptical and so fearful that it was just another Falcao, and like the guy hadn't played a match since February or something when we had signed him, so he had to get back to fitness. But ever since he's come in, he has been he's been unbelievable. And like, it's not as if he's banging in 20 goals or whatever, but what he's doing is we've got Greenwood, who I think is phenomenal. I think he is an absolute talent. But like, you've got someone like Cavani who's there, who's able to help them. Do you know, we don't have many leaders in our team, world-class leaders. We don't have them. We now have Cavani up top, Bruno in the middle. And like, you're starting to see that. So I hope we do give him another deal. I'm also hoping we give him a year contract, because we also need to spend money in other areas of the pitch. And if we don't sign Cavani, we're going to have to sign a forward. If we sign a forward, that's going to cost us whatever. I don't know, it depends who, but like 60, 70 million, whatever. If the Haaland shite, I don't believe it, but like, just if they're talking about that and it's true, that's like 150 million or something. We ain't got any more money to spend on other areas of the pitch. So giving Cavani an extra year allows us to pad out the squad and then maybe sign a striker next season. So yeah, 100%. He's been brilliant.
Other one. So if you put down the wine, you can't handle your drink.
It's not wine.
It's Coburg, isn't it?
It's incredible. But I'd just like to say, I am always like this, regardless of whether I've had a drink or not. And I respect that you don't agree with my opinions, but can we just be nice? So that's coming from me, being nice. And agreed. I'm horrible.
100%. All opinions are welcome. No matter we agree with them or not, all opinions are welcome and valid. So going on. So normally in these games that between United and Liverpool, whenever it's at Anfield, it's the crowd. When it's at Old Trafford, it's the crowd. So do you feel that, obviously normally for Liverpool, when they've gone to Old Trafford, our record there is atrocious. And normally the big stadium, the fans, it can be, I think sometimes I think a lot of times we've gone there for draws and the atmosphere's got to us. in terms of we've not played the game, we've allowed the atmosphere to take over us. Do you feel that that's going to play any issue tomorrow in terms of there's no atmosphere at Old Trafford? That's just going to be a normal game, or do you feel that doesn't matter?
I don't. I think if you asked me this at the start of the season, I probably would have said, yeah, it's going to make a huge difference. I think the players are probably just so used to it now that it's kind of like it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters to them anymore. I think our home form has been pretty erratic this season. So like we've a better away form, better away form than we do home form. And I know it's like you could argue the fans have got something to do with that, but it's a negative thing towards us as opposed to a positive, like nearly that would play into your favor. Ollie blamed, I think, the color of the seats a few weeks ago, and he said it was the seats were red and it was putting off the players, so we changed them to like black seats now. So I don't believe it should be an excuse for any team at this point of the season, because like again, what are we, a year without fans? So like no, it shouldn't. I think it's going to be just a plain simple match. I don't think. I certainly won't be using no fans as an excuse.
Okay. How do you feel, Sophie, about that? Do you think that that's going to play a major issue at all?
Well, Tom's just said there that fans being back works negatively against United. And I was going to make a comment.
No fans. No fans there works negatively against us.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry, I misheard. I thought you said no fans fans being the negative.
No.
Effect. I was going to make a comment, and I thought, no, Sophie.
Yeah. So just on your point that you were going to say, but aren't going to say out of respect, right? I'm sure for all United fans listening.
I respect you, not them.
Thank you. I think Liverpool not having fans is a massive blow. Because I've seen it, I've seen the cop when you need a bit of like that extra 10% or whatever, and your fans give it to them. I'm jealous of it because I've been a season ticket holder at United. I've been there when we need the fans singing, and you've got one small section of the singing section singing, and the rest is just quiet. It's horrible. But Liverpool, I think, would miss fans more than us potentially. But then I look at the home form stats, and I'm like, okay, we're actually worse at home this season than any other season. And maybe that is because of the fans. I don't know.
I think, you know what? Liverpool have always said Anfield is a fortress, and it's been proven that this year specifically that Anfield itself isn't the fortress. It's the fans that make it the fortress. They are the soldiers. If you want to take it literally, the fans are the soldiers that protect Anfield and that make it such an incredible place. And everyone hates going to Anfield. And this season, I feel like a lot of opponents, a lot of rivals have felt more comfortable going to Anfield because they haven't had those fans, that cock booming.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be a shock to the system next season when everyone's back. And when that cop is full again, I think we are really, really going to benefit from it. And I'll be interested to see how it changes our home form, because we've had the best home form of our absolute, our history, in recent years. We've had an amazing home form. We went on the biggest run, and it only got ended this year without the fans. So with our squad coming back, a couple of nice new additions, shiny new additions that are sparkling in the corner, and the fans back, I think Anfield's going to return to its former glory. But I feel like you can say that for every club. Every club is going to be made up to have their fans back, especially after a year and a half of not having your fans there. Every fan who goes to that game is going to be so grateful to be there. That next season is going to be amazing for everybody, regardless of whether you're Liverpool, United, or what. Even the lower league teams like Norwich coming back up to the Premier League, their fans are going to be on form because A, they've been promoted, and B, they haven't seen them for over a year. I don't think it makes a difference what team you are. Everyone's going to be made up for fans, and everyone's been impacted by not having them. I think the only team that has benefited from having no fans there has been City. Because it makes no difference if they're there.
Same. It's the same. Yeah, I agree. No, I think that's a good point. It is a good point that I think most teams home form. Well, okay, obviously everyone can't win at home, but I definitely think every single team, once they get fans back in their home ground, is just going to be what the hell? That's why next season is this season. Okay, fine. We'll finish it and it'll be fine. Next season is going to be a stomper. It's gonna be phenomenal. Yeah, and it's so funny. It's so funny because like United fans would have given Liverpool a lot of stick about, next season's our year, next year will be our year, and like now you've got United fans going, next year, next year is going to be a good one, but it will.
But I just think like everybody's going to love next year, and next year, regardless of what team you are, it's going to be a booming season because it's just going to be the first normal season when life is hopefully back to normal or some form of normality, what we know. And it's going to be an amazing season, no matter what the results are of the games. You're just going to be happy to have our football back.
Yeah,
that's the way I see it.
And
anyway.
hairdressers will be able to open again in Ireland because we're still in lockdown.
The reason that I only have my hair straight lately because it hides the roots going on.
Like
we're at the top.
We're still in lockdown. Like we're not coming out of lockdown until it's different levels, but until May 10th. So we can't. Barbers haven't been open for about 9 months.
Wow. All right.
Shocking.
It's going to in the chat here. Dave says, hi, guys. Dave the Joker, as always. Chris Well says, who's going tomorrow? Is the Q's game tomorrow? Good to see you, Dave. Clop out. Sophie's a big Liverpool fan, so just be careful where you're going with your comments. And, just if you don't agree with someone's opinion, give us why you don't agree with it, rather than going into making fun of people, abusing people, questioning their loyalties as a fan. Dave says, you better believe it, Tom, in terms of must win. Dave says, well said, Sophie. I think he agreed with you before. Chris Ross, I've said this many times, I don't want to see no hugging, kissing, and nonsense before the game. Don't look at them, don't toss at them before the game. Let's smash them all over the pitch with crunch tackles. I think he was in the tunnel thing. Moving on, Chris Ross says, no doubt players will do that and say you are coming into the pub for a drink. Dave says Sophie's in Ribena.
Yeah, that's what it is right here.
So
actually, I feel like I really shouldn't show what it is because it's a sore topic for Madrid fans and City fans.
Good to see you, Gandeep. He says Jenny has to be dropped. So everyone in the chat, please make sure you smash the like and subscribe button.
Yeah.
Moving on. For this match, Tom, who do you think are the danger men that Liverpool have to watch out for?
The Holy Trinity, man. The Holy Trinity. So I definitely think, and again, we actually spoke about this before, homie, where Bruno Fernandes, right? Like, does he turn up in the big game? So I'm naturally going to say our biggest danger man is Bruno Fernandes, right? Just based on everything he's done since the day he walked in the door. So he has to be the most feared person in the United team for Liverpool. I think based on recent form, so since maybe January onwards, right? So what, 4 months, Pogba and Cavani, like they've been a different level. They've upped their game massively, and it's actually worked nicely because Rashford's gone off the boil quite a bit. So I think he's injured. Like, I actually genuinely feel for him because apparently he's not training in between matches. Like, he might do a light session, but he's not really training, and then Ollie's playing him in the game because Martial's out. So and again, I actually think I pinpointed Rashford the last time we played, and I was like, I think he'll be the biggest danger man. I don't think he will be in this game. I think it's going to be about Pogba, Bruno, and Cavani if they all start, which they should. I think between them three, I think there's enough there to cause you problems.
We're actually going on to that because the next question was more about your formation lineup you're going to go with tomorrow. Who do you think there's going to be the official lineup for United tomorrow?
I think Ollie has a tendency to be unpredictable sometimes in big matches. Like we've seen Dan James come in against City. We've seen us play 5 at the back. Like we've seen weird shit in big games. I want him to play the same team we played against Roma. Henderson will come in for De Gea. That just seems to be the Henderson starts and goal in the league now. So that's the only change I think he will make. I think he should make. He could rest Cavani. I don't think he should, but he could rest Cavani and play Greenwood. But I would like him to see, I don't know, sorry, in case you don't know what the team was against Roma, because you mightn't watch all United matches, which is fair. I think the lineup tomorrow will be Henderson, Shaw, Lindelof, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, Fred, McSauce, Bruno, Pogba, Rashford, Cavani. That's what it should be. That's what I think it should be, and I think that would give us the best chance. The only alternative to that is he could rest maybe Cavani for Greenwood, or if Rashford isn't fit, again Greenwood goes in for Rashford, but the rest of the team picks itself.
Do you know who I'm really impressed with in your squad this year?
Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw. That
Yeah,
was
I know.
I'm worried about the three you mentioned for obvious reasons, but I'd like to add that I'm actually personally worried about Luke Shaw.
I think him going up against Trent will be very interesting. How far he goes up.
Because he's playing very, very good this season. Like, we've always taken the mick out of Luke Shaw for being the little fat one in the corner. He's the little fat left back who can't do nothing. He's got bigger boobs than me, which is not difficult. But I've always took the piss out of Luke Shaw, saying that he's not worthy of being a Man United player because he didn't ever seem it.
Yeah, yeah.
He's really stepped up. I don't know whether it's because of everyone else around him has stepped up that he's kind of gone up with them, or whether he's just had a personal epiphany type thing and realised how to play football. But he's been really, really good, both going forward and defensively this season. And I think he's going to be, even his pace has picked up this season as well. Because normally he's quite slow and he's not the quickest. And Trent would normally just swing right past him. But I feel like Trent's going to have a little bit of a job to do with him. I think we need to play for Thiago on that side to cover Trent, because otherwise it's going to be open season on that right side for me. I'm worried about coming down that side with Luke Shaw, to be honest, more so than the midfield. I'm worried about that. That's
a really good point. So Luke Shaw is my player of the year. Bruno should be obvious, but I think for the reasons you've mentioned, Luke Shaw, I think it's because Tellez. I think we signed Tellez, and that gave him a kick up the ass, and he was just right, my place is at risk here for the first time. Williams was kind of coming in for him a small bit, but not a big threat. All of a sudden, we go and spend whatever 20 million on Alex Tellez, who had the season of his life before he joined us, and then Shaw just kicks into gear, and it's great because he has been awfully unlucky. He should make England's squad going off to the Euros, and it's a complete turnaround for a player who was hitting form, had that horrible leg break, never really got back. Obviously got such criticism off Mourinho, in public, calling him basically fat and saying he has to tell him what to do on the sidelines as the match has been played. It's a horrible position for him to be in. So I think it's great that he's come back and he's looking really well. He is looking a bit trim. He's always been stocky. I call him stodgy. He's just kind of, that's his build.
Small, isn't he? He's just small.
Yeah, he's kind of small, stocky, left back. It's a weird. He's like a Shaqiri. Everyone calls Shaqiri fat, but he's clearly not fat.
Isn't he?
He's just like a block. But he's I don't know why. Maybe some of my mates credit Ollie. I think it's Tellez coming in, just gave him this kick up the ass. But I think what's interesting is, and again, homie, I had a rant in January where I was like, fucking Pogba on the left, what is this nonsense? What is Ollie doing? He should be sacked for that alone. And it's bloody worked. Whatever reason it's worked, I don't know, but it's working. And you have a nice little triangle where you've got Shaw, Pogba, and Bruno on the left-hand side. Sometimes you've got McTominay comes across as well, and they play nice, really nice intricate passing. And Rashford's been moved over to the right. So Rashford would have always been on the left, and you would have had Shaw and Rashford. And I would have been pace, absolutely nice pace down the left. Pogba's kind of just thrown in a weird dimension, but it's working. And what it allows is, which I think we might see a good bit of tomorrow, is when you see this Shaw and Pogba linking up, he did against Roma 2 or 3 times. Pogba plays this 50-yard pass straight out to the right-hand side. So he just a complete switch of play where you've got Rashford then tearing into whoever, Robertson or whatever. So I think it is, I wouldn't classify Luke Shaw as a threat when I think of it, but it is a fair point, that one that you could be worried about, Paul.
Well, I think for you, sorry, Raheem, I think you were going to talk it. I think for you, your major threats are your attacking threats. But as a Liverpool fan, obviously our biggest concern this season, well, my biggest concern, I should say, has been the defence. Everybody knows how much I love Virgil, and I've really felt, I know everybody has, but I've really felt his presence. God rest his soul. Hopefully he returns the second coming of Jesus. I think our defensive problems have been massive, and I feel we've settled a little bit, having signed Kabak, and Phillips has done a really good job as well. You can't take credit away from them for that; they have done well. But I think for me, defensively, knowing that Trent likes to bomb forward more so than defend, which normally he has either Gomez or Virgil pivoting on his side, and then he normally has Henderson on that side to covering those gaps. I'm worried about that left side. I'm worried about that right side. I am really, really worried about Luke Shaw. I feel like our boys in midfield can handle, maybe not boss them about, but they'll be able to go to toe with yours, as they always have done. But I'm really worried about that right side, especially with Luke Shaw being in form. I don't know why, but he's the one player that I'm just kind of like, oh, I'm really not looking forward to seeing how this is going, because normally it's so easy down that side, and it's not going to be.
So going on to that, Sophie, from a Liverpool point of view, we go into this game on the basis of 2 wins out of the last 6 in all competitions, with 3 draws in a row now, and have been quite damaging to our top 4 hopes. Actually, really put the nail in the coffin for some people. How are you feeling about this game against United? Because our record there is atrocious. We've not won there under Klopp. Or actually, even when we won the league, I don't think Klopp went for it in that game. I mean, he should have done. So, how do you feel about going to this game in terms of is that a concern, our record there with Klopp?
I hate it. I always hate it. Every single time we play United, my stomach drops. It's just, you grow up with this rivalry that it means more. And I'm sure Tom will say the same, going against Liverpool, it's a horrible feeling no matter who's on form and who's not, no matter where the other team is in the league. It's never ever a nice game. And I think it'd be hard pressed to find any fan either side of the the Northwest who would disagree and say that they enjoy the derby. I never ever enjoy the derby. There was that game in the season where we came runner-up in the leagues. We went to Old Trafford. That was a game we should have won, and there were so many slide tackles thrown in. There were so many injuries. I think United, you had 3 people taken off an injury, 2 people taken off an injury in the first half. And I was thinking, well, this is going to be our game. They've lost them, 2 of their starting 11 within the first, half an hour. And also, this is going to be great. And it's never an easy game. And especially this year, I'm just not looking forward to it. And I feel like United, it's an easy win for them. Unfortunately, sorry to say, it's an easier win for them than it is for us. We are really going to have to dig in deep if we want to win. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I can't see us winning tomorrow. I think we're probably going to go for a 1-1 or a 0-0 draw. I think we're either going to keep them out. I'm going to say it now. I think we're either going to keep them out or it's going to go even Stevens, because that's the way that they are. I don't hold any hope that we're going to win tomorrow. I'm under no illusion. Either that or United beat us.
Well, I think from my point of view, I don't think, especially when we play United at Everton, I don't think ever Klopp goes there to win. He always goes there to play for a draw and try and nick a goal. When I think he ends up, just like the players, ends up being caught in the atmosphere and being caught off thinking, well, it's better to not lose away to United or Everton than it is to, come away at least a point and no points. Rather, I think if he was more bolder in those games, I think the times, especially last season, I felt that if he was more bold in the selection, we could have won there at Old Trafford. But, so I think I'm not confident about this game, regardless of, if we were in form or on form or off form, because even when we had our best team there, we didn't win there last year. So I'm just never confident about going to Old Trafford, purely because of the way we approach the games. We don't approach it as we do when we play you at home. So in that sense, it is a bit of a concern, especially the fact that we need a win on Sunday. Even I think top 4 is gone, if we want to have any chance of top 4, we have to win on Sunday. But, so just reading some of the chats here. Chris Welsh says his lineup is Alisson, Trent, Fabinho, Kabak, Robertson, Thiago, Wijnaldum, Milner, Salah, Firmino, and Mane. Dave says here Shawshank Redemption. He talks about Luke Shaw. Dave's going for a 1-1 draw with United tomorrow. Dave says Shaq at fullback. I don't know about that. Crushwell says Milner needs to cover Trent at the right hand side. For me, Thiago with Thiago on the left and Robertson. Crushwell says Losing to United ruins my weekend and the week ahead. The winning versus Man United makes up for your week. Days you have nothing to lose. So I agreed to just go for it. And I think also just wanted to point in, like, I think one of the things for me, again, about tomorrow is the fact that, I was looking at a stat that Liverpool have, I think, the second most big chances in the Premiership this season. We have, like, the worst conversion ratios when it comes to scoring goals. Like, Bobby and Mane are, like, I think they were in the bottom 3 for most chances not, poor conversion and most chances missed. And I think for us, it's been over-reliant on Salah scoring, and then obviously there's a bit when Jota was scoring, then he got injured and he's come back. So for me in this game as well, I think I'm quite concerned over, I was just saying, so I'm quite concerned of our forwards in terms of, we look at the stats, we're the second in the league for most big chances created. We're one of the worst for conversions. So I feel again this Sunday, I'm not confident in that game in the fact that we're going to take our chances. We do create them. Because I think that Mane is still, I don't know what's wrong with him. I think it's fatigue. He hasn't had a rest in like 7 years. Or was it 5 seasons where we said it was?
7 years. For years he's been busy.
I saw a tweet said that he hasn't had a rest in like, I don't know, five, I don't know how many years on a holiday. I think it says Chris Bascom wrote it or something. Then Firmino just looks off again, and I don't know he doesn't look that great.
Our whole team look off. Let's be honest.
So I fear that.
Yeah.
Do you not feel, right? So just on the predictions, okay? Do you not feel as if, and I think someone in the comments, I think Dave made a good point of like, you've nothing to lose tomorrow, so you got to go for it, right? So that would be my feeling of tomorrow's game for Liverpool, is that like, I actually think you have to win. So like, I can't see Klopp trying to just get a point out of the game, and like early in the season, or depending on our situations, you could argue a point away to United is a good result. But at the moment, given there's 4 matches left after this or whatever, you have. Tomorrow's the 4th. You have to win. So to me, that means one of 2 things, right? Either you have to win, you go for it, you smother us and you beat us, or you have to go for it. It's a wide open game, and it could be fucking 2-2, could be 3-2 either side, could be 3-1. Like, it could be just a really open, expansive game. My head is telling me it's got to be 1-1, because I just always feel as if Ollie can't just get the win over Liverpool, but like in the league. But I feel it could be 3-2. Like, I feel it could be a 3-2 game, like a really wide open game, because you have to go for it. If you have to go for it, that plays into our hand and allows us to play a bit of football.
So the reason why I say that I probably think Klopp wouldn't do that, even though we have to, is because he's very sort of pragmatic. Like, even the Madrid games, he went in with a certain tactic of, not going gung ho. Even the second leg, he didn't go gung ho. Although we should have won that second leg against Madrid because we created enough chances, tactics were spot on. But he went in thinking, like, I'm going to try to control the game and just stay in it and try and play in that way, rather than we're not the days when Klopp would just come out flying the blocks and we would just kill teams. Those days we don't do that anymore. We're more controlled, pragmatic, especially with Klopp.
Why is that? So say Klopp, like, again, say his early, not even too early, like as in the last 2 years, maybe 2 seasons ago, this rock football, whatever you called it, heavy metal football, whatever it was called, but like it was just this gunslinging, all out press, like smothered them.
Because he wants more control. We didn't control games. It was too end to end, and it was too end to end in the sense of like we'd go one end and try to score the position, but then if they came on us, it was too end to end. So he went for more control and more possession based in terms of actually controlling the game and actually knowing that believing that the fact that our players, no matter how late in the game, could score. I think last season we were the best for late goals in the second half of the game. I think believing that we don't have to come out of the block because we were so good in terms of scoring late goals. We were so good in terms of set pieces because Van Dijk, Matip, all those kind of players were scoring goals from set pieces. This season, we haven't had that. We haven't had, obviously, we missed the players missing. It's been a complete shambles in terms of fitness, confidence. So we don't have that in terms of where we can believe that we can score the goals late in. Because even like the last 2 games, we've missed clinical big chances, and we can see the last minute, and it's damaging. So I think for me, it's going to be interesting how Klopp approaches it tomorrow fully, because I feel that I potentially would like us to count the blocks quick, but I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to try and stay in the game and see how it is 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and then see it in that sense. How do you see it, Sophie?
I feel like our days of heavy metal football are well and truly past us now. Our best football came under control, and it went from heavy metal football to liquid football. That's the way, the coins return, the terms were coined. And it just went to, we were able to outpass players who were just in possession, and then we were clinical. And this season we haven't been clinical at all, and it's cost us massively. Like, even if we'd conceded the goals we conceded, if we'd been clinical with our chances and capitalised on them, then we wouldn't be in the situation we are now. And I feel like that's just typical of our season in general, isn't it? That's how we have been the entire time. And to be honest, I don't really have anything extra to add. I feel like both of you have really just kind of covered it perfectly. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the season in general now.
Do you think if and again, this might be just too easy a question or too obvious, but like, do you think if Virgil didn't get injured at the start of the season, your season would have been much different?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
I still think if Virgil were in there, we would still be pushing City for the title, and we wouldn't have been. We would have given Madrid a much better game, because even like, for example, the Madrid games, two of Madrid's goals came against our areas. Madrid didn't play that well. It was more of our area in the first leg. Then the second leg, we should have had like 3 or 4 goals in that first half and been back in it. In an overall season as well, we would have been fine with Fabinho and Van Dijk at centre back if we had to play that way for the rest of the season. For example, when we lost to City, we had Henderson and Fabinho at centre back. So City obviously batted us because they're not centre backs. As well as Fabinho's done there, not centre backs. So we'd never have to have played that. We wouldn't have also been panicking around January for a centre back, because Van Dijk's there. So we'd have been pushing weight. And also, one thing that Van Dijk does is when Liverpool pressed, Van Dijk has the ability to do the switch or play balls. Long ball over the top for the wide people to run onto, or to switch the play for the fullbacks. And I think it's Arteta who said that earlier in the season, that with Liverpool, when Van Dijk was there, when you're playing Van Dijk and you press Liverpool's so good because the centre backs can just switch the play and beat the press. Yeah. This season now, with Van Dijk out, none of our other centre backs can play the long ball, switch the play, or can't play high up the pitch, or so it really damages us in terms of our overall pressing, and also our ability to force the opposition into errors for us to create chances. So we'd definitely be high at the pitch with Van Dijk. He's that big for us.
Yeah, and like we said it, on yesterday's podcast, Friday Thoughts, Chris Walsh, one of our very, very loyal watchers, put in that he's had a debate with another supposed Liverpool fan who said that Gomez and Kabak were world class. And that falls into the Virgil van Dijk, because we said that Virgil van Dijk is without a doubt world class. And for me, when Virgil went out, everyone was like, "Oh, Liverpool's defence is just going to fall to pieces." And my first gut feeling was, "Oh God, the whole team's going to fall like dominoes." And I've said it. Wahomey will agree with me. Like, I've said it countless times on all the podcasts that it's had a domino effect, because as Wahomey's just perfectly put it, Virgil, he switches the play between fullbacks, the long balls. He's a nightmare to defend because he's so good at reading the game. He's so strong and he's so quick as well. He's a diamond. There's a reason we call him a god, because he's just above. He's just levels above, isn't he? He's just an absolute nightmare. And yourself, you'll be able to admit that he's a nightmare to play, because
he's quality. Yeah.
And I just feel like Liverpool's form, had we had Virgil, would have been massive. Even if we'd lost everybody else, we lost, but we kept Virgil, we'd still be in a better position, because not only is he an amazing centre back and he commands that back line, and is he able to play these forward balls, and He's influential in creating our chances. Our set pieces have suffered massively because we don't have his aerial ability. But more so than that, he's a leader on the pitch, even when he's not wearing the captain's armband. He's that voice. So when Virgil's playing, you've got a voice in the back line. When Hendo's also playing, you've also got a voice in the midfield. So when the pair of them are playing, for me, Virgil commands the back line and can argue and shout at the midfield. Hendo commands the midfield and can shout at the front three. We don't have that connection at the minute. And for me personally, I feel like because we've lost Virgil and we've lost Henderson, when Hendo can push forward and argue with the front three to be more clinical and do their job, then Virgil steps up and commands the midfield. But we haven't even got either of them. So for me, that's why I feel like our front three aren't firing on all cylinders. And had we had Virgil, I don't think, I do disagree with the homie. I don't think we'd have been challenging for the title again. Because of the way we've been playing and the other injuries we've had. But if we still had Virgil, we'd be in a much better position. We'd be clear in top four. If anything, I'd say we'd be challenging United for top two.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd be going toe-to-toe. I wouldn't have, I said City would have won this league anyway because of the quality and depth we've got. But I think it would have been us and you for top two this year if we still had Virgil. Just Virgil, not anybody else.
Yeah. Scary thing about next season as well is that City, with Aguero going, they're going to replace him. I don't care what Pep says about like, oh, we don't have money, and like they have to. That is scary that they're going to sign.
They're going to get Mbappe.
Like Kane, Mbappe, Haaland, whoever. Like they're going to sign. It ain't going to be.
Imagine Kane.
It's not going to be Ollie Watkins. Do you know? They're going to sign someone. They're going to sign a world-class striker, and that is scary. That they're going to like. They ain't going anywhere. I have another question, but just because Chris Welch just asked, or he was talking about, he has a horrible feeling Klopp will go for Firmino instead of Jota. Okay, so Jota. I think Jota is unbelievable. Like, I actually think he's brilliant. But I know he was injured. But why is he not a guaranteed starter? Like, why? So, Bobby, I would totally agree to Firmino. I don't rate him. I'm not getting into it, but I don't rate him. So, when you have an option like Jota, I just don't get why he does not play all. Like, Jota, Salah, Mane that's class.
Because
I think so. So, go, Seth.
Because Bobby's days in the front three, traditional front three, are done. In my opinion, he's not. He's 29. He's done his good 10. We were doing our FSG top worst sign, or our favourite goal. Sorry, it wasn't FSG worst signs. We were doing our favourite goals and stuff in the last podcast. And there were some goals from like 2016, 17 of Bobby like shooting long range bangers. He doesn't do that anymore. He can't do it anymore, and it's just it's natural. It happens. But I think Jota came in all guns blazing, and he was the signing nobody expected. Like, he came the day after Thiago. No one knew he was even on our radar, and nobody expected him to be the level he is. Like, we all expected him to be like a good sub.
Yeah, agreed.
We never thought he'd challenge for the top three. We saw that he definitely was a challenge for the top three, and he was definitely, in my opinion, he challenges Mane's role more than Bobby's role.
Okay.
When Jota plays on the left, he's much more clinical. He's much more aggressive, and he's frightening quick down that side. And I think that left side, and I think when you look at Mane, you can't ever turn around and say, I'm just going to take Mane off. Like, I'm going to bench Mane for good and put Jota in. It doesn't work like that.
Do you? Oh, sorry. Go on.
I do think, though, that we've said it before, especially on the podcast, that for me, Firmino needs to drop to a 10 and play more of a midfield. And that's why I'm preferring for next season a 4-2-3-1 role. Because technically it becomes like a 4-2-1-2.
Yeah. Who's up top in that?
So that would be Mane, Salah and Jota.
Okay, yeah,
so I'd put Salah in the middle. I'd put Jota on the right and Mane on the left, and then I'd have them pivot, because that's what they have been known to do, to pivot the front, where they play it like that, they pivot, and Bobby falls back into more of a 10 role, then Thiago, Fabinho, or Hendo, Fabinho, and then obviously our normal back four when all fit. I think next season Jota's going to have more of a predominant start. I think you're going to see a lot more of him next season. I feel like this season, like I said before, is an anomaly. So Klopp has kind of gone with what he knows tried and trusted. Even though it's not really benefited us, I can understand why he's done that rather than take a risk and a gamble. I think it's just pretty much now grab everything that you can with the people you know.
I'd also add, I think a lot of times, while Jota's good at pressing, he still doesn't know the right way to press.
Yeah.
I think that's why sometimes Klopp goes for Firmino, because Firmino knows much better in terms of how to press us going forward. You saw in the Madrid game when Jota played, he didn't know how to press properly or when to start the press and stuff. So, and I think that's why Klopp went for Bobby. But I think obviously once Jota really has a proper pre-season and understands the tactics side better, he'll be much more better in terms of pressing. But I think that's the reason why Klopp goes for Firmino at times over him. So I'll be surprised if Klopp played all 4 tomorrow. It'll only be one of them to play tomorrow, because I think he ain't going to be that bold tomorrow because it's United.
I don't think it would work either. I think it upsets the balance massively if you play a ball tomorrow.
Yeah, we don't have
with United being in the form they're in, especially with my concern about obviously Cavani, Bruno Fernandes, Luke Shaw. I feel like if you don't stack that, we saw it against City when we played the 4-2-3-1, their midfield ran all over us. I feel like that would happen again if we played 4-2-3-1. I feel like United would absolutely batter us in that midfield, and even having a front throw wouldn't save us because we're not being clinical enough.
Yeah.
I think
go. No, go on. It's a non-question. Do you fear any of them leaving in the summer?
Nah.
No.
Yes.
What? I don't. The reason why I don't, because no one can really afford them anyhow, and 2, Liverpool won't sell them anyhow. So that's the way where I don't fear it. Don't worry about it. Because the only teams, for example, people say Salah, but Salah's is after a new contract. That's what he's after.
Mane seems unhappy every time I look at him. Like anytime he gets subbed, I know you don't want the old cliche of like you want them to be annoyed coming off and stuff, and that's fine. But I don't know. I look at Mane sometimes and I'm like, is he happy? I don't really know what's going on there.
Well, he said quite a few times, Mane, this season he's happy. He loves Liverpool. He's happy at Liverpool. So,
but you know what? How many times have we seen players coming out and saying, "No, I'm happy, and then they leave us? And I know it's the name of the game. I know it's the nature of the beast and all that. But whether it's this season or next season, I do fear Mane going. I do. I feel like Salah's with us for the long haul. I feel like Salah's not going away because he's too expensive. He's riding the coattails. He knows his bread's buttered on this side at Liverpool. I feel like Mane, I can see him going, and I can see him going to Bayern.
I don't.
Honestly.
Bayern?
Yeah, I don't. Bayern don't. The reason why I don't see it, because Mane's never argued about salary. If you see what he's paid, he ain't paid what he should be. He's never argued about salary. Mane's always it's not very materialistic in terms of that.
I saw that. I saw like a picture of him with his phone, and it's like a really old phone that's smashed to bits.
Very humble.
Yeah.
Very humble.
He bought him a new phone,
And
didn't he?
yeah, he's very humble as a person. And plus he's at Liverpool. And plus, like I said, he's the one person. Salah never says it. Mane says it. I'm happy at Liverpool. I love Liverpool. I'm happy here. So I don't see him. The only way Mane would ever go.
With Jota coming in, say we got, just play devil's advocate with me for a second. Say we got Marlon. Say we've still got Jota. That is really going to push Mane's nose out a little bit. And I
don't think. The reason why I disagree with that. Yeah.
If those 2 boys came in and played on fire, we both know they've got a tendency towards the left. I feel like Mane's. I don't want him to go. Definitely don't want him to go anywhere. But I feel like if any of our front 3 are going to sign for somebody else, Bobby won't go. Bobby's nearing the end of his career. He'll see his time out at Liverpool. Nobody's going to take Bobby off us. Salah, people might come and go, but I think Salah will stay. Like I said, his bread's buttered. He knows where it is. I feel like if anyone's going to go, it's going to be Mane. And I don't want it to happen. But, we will see.
I just don't see it. No, for any of them, Klopp's already said this season. Well, it's already been spoken about that Klopp isn't willing to say any of the front three this summer. None of them are going.
Next summer, it's more. I don't think anybody will go this summer because of the season we've had. I think they've all got kind of a point to prove, and it'll bring their revenue back up. It'll bring their their money, their transfer fees right back up. They have another good season under the belt under Liverpool. I feel like maybe next summer would be the season.
Next summer, yeah, because of age. Next summer, yeah. Next summer, because of age, yeah. One will go. I definitely agree that one will go 100% next summer. But this summer, none of them are going anywhere.
No,
and Liverpool, Klopp wants to sign someone else new and add to them. But going back to the game, what is your lineup for this game? Because for me, I think a lot hinges on the fact that if Fabinho's at centre back, it's going to be a long afternoon for us. And I feel that we need Fabinho in midfield. I don't care. I don't really care because people are going to say you can't play Davies. He's a centre back, and for this game, I'd put Davies in there. I don't care if he's not played many games for us or whatever, because we know for fact, for example, if Fabinho was injured, Klopp wouldn't have any hesitation of throwing Reece Williams in there. So for me, we need Fabinho in midfield. He's only one player that's going to tackle, that's going to control the game. And for me, you need to be playing centre midfielders, centre midfield, and centre backs to centre back. So, and also, are we really going to see that any much worse if you put Davis there tomorrow? Because Fabinho, Kabak already shown they're going to concede last minute. So, I'd throw him in there because I think we need Fabinho midfield.
I agree completely that we need Fabinho in midfield, like without a shadow of a doubt. Like he should never leave that number 6 role ever again. I said it before. He's like that third centre back on the pitch. That's what he gives. He gives that comfort. He's the defence in front of the defence. Like love him in midfield. Hate it. Loved him in centre back when he first started, and I think as the season's gone on, we've realised more and more that that's not really a viable option. I agree on the term that you're saying. Fabinho in midfield. We've got Davies, who's a centre back, but Davies hasn't played any games. Like he's not played a single minute of Premier League football in any centre back partnership whatsoever. There's no way even I'm not a football manager. I couldn't manage a football team to save my life. But there's no way on this God's green earth that I would put a championship player who's never played a minute of Premier League football against our biggest rivals. Not happening. I do think, though, if Phillips is not fit and Phillips is not going to play, then put Reece Williams in there next to Kabak. I know they've not played together, but
this is rubbish.
But Reece Williams has played Premier League football, and that's the key difference. And I think you can say Ben Davies is a better centre-back than Reece Williams, but Reece Williams has played the Liverpool system. He's played Liverpool Premier League games. He knows he has some form of foundation of understanding about what it takes to play that game. Davies doesn't. He might be a better centre-back, but that's like sending, Phil Foden, who's only ever played in the Premier League, over to like La Liga, and expecting him to just boss that league. It's not going to happen. It takes time. It takes adjustment. We saw Fabinho, it took 3-4 months before he got any game time with us, and he was an amazing player beforehand at Monaco. I think if you're going to put any centre-back in centre-back, it has to be Kabak and Williams, because Phillips isn't going to play, and you can't put Davies in. It's not fair. He's never played it. You can't do it.
I'd throw him in there.
Ideally,
nothing to lose. The season's over now.
But if there's nothing to lose, why wouldn't you play a player who already has experience in the game?
Because Davies is better than Davies was seen as the best championship centre back last season.
He's never played Premier League football before. So you want to put get the shush button out. Get the shush button out. You want to put a championship player who's never played anything against the biggest rivals in the Premier League? No, babe.
I'll do it. What have we got to lose? We've got to lose. If you've got to draw the losing match.
Don't listen until the cows come home. Like me and you are going to have alternate opinions on that. That's fine. That's the way it is. It always is that way. We always disagree about something. But let's be honest. The reality is he's going to put, Alisson in goal. He's going to have Trent, Robbo, Kabak, Fabinho. He's going to put Milner in. He's going to put Thiago in. He's going to put Gini in. He's going to play the normal front three as they always are. And then he's going to bring Jota on as an impact sub, because he's not going to bring Bobby on as an impact sub because he won't do none. He'll bring Ox on at the 65th minute. He'll do nothing. And then he'll bring Shaq on at 88 minutes. And he'll do nothing. As Tom said much earlier on the podcast, Liverpool's squad is paper thin. Who have we got coming off the bench that makes an impact? And the lineup writes itself at this point for me.
I just want to intervene really quickly and say any combination of Williams, Davis, Kabak,
Getting torn apart.
Perfect. Like, it's so bad.
Do you know
I have to back Wahome here and say that, like, Ben Davis is a good defender. Like, he is good centre back. I don't know I haven't, like, anytime I've seen Kabak, he hasn't looked great. Williams, I really don't know much about him, but I've seen Ben Davis and, like, he seems quite solid. I know he's never played for you, so it is a massive game to throw him in against, but, like, I'm sure he's trained, like, you know, he trains every day. Like, I don't know, I'd pick him.
The wine glass is coming out now, like it's a point and stick. It's not in it. It's been empty for ages. It's just a point and stick. Although, yes, Davies is a much better centre back than Williams is, without a shadow of a doubt. But I just don't see it happening. Like, if he's not played him at any point,
it would be. Yeah.
I don't think it happening. I don't see it happening, but I'm just saying I don't think it happened from Klopp's point of view, because Klopp's too pragmatic and too sometimes stubborn and loyal with certain players that they're going to play regardless of form or not, and he's not going to change that way. But I'm just saying, personally, from my point of view, I would do it because I think we've got nothing to lose tomorrow. The season's over, you know. So what difference does it make, you know? And I think obviously from my point of view that Davis should have played ages ago, because I don't ever want to see Fabinho at centre back again. It doesn't work.
No, it
doesn't work with Kabak.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work. Fabinho centre back does not work, and I will completely and utterly agree with you on that one. But you're saying, what have we got to lose? Okay, yes, we probably don't have top four. We definitely don't have, you know, Premier League retainment. We're not going to retain our title. That's a given. At this point, all we've kind of got to hold on to is a little bit of fucking self-respect. And I'm sorry, but there is no way on this. God, I would bet my house on it that you will not put a centre-back that has never played a single second of Premier League football against United. Regardless of whether you've got nothing to lose or not, it's a little bit of self-respect at this point, like preserving a little bit of dignity. It's embarrassing. Go with someone at least who's had a little bit of experience in the Premier League before you go bollocks to it. Balls to the wall, pedal to the metal, play whoever you fucking want. You might as well pay Carol from the canteen. If that's what have you got to lose? It's ludicrous. It's an absolute ludicrous opinion, in my opinion. I would never do it. Never ever do it. And I can't see Klopp ever doing it either.
Well,
but we're going to disagree on that one forever.
Yeah. Going to some of the comments. I think FSG out says Klopp loves Mane and will give Mane another chance. Then obviously Zane says, no, Mane has always acted like he's a natural shy guy. He said in an interview he's disappointed with himself due to his poor form. Klopp out, Mane's performance has been great this season. Zane, we still need a bench. Brethren John says, greetings, good people. Good to see you, John. You're still on. Zane said the summer after makes sense, not this summer. No chance of him going. Zane says Alisson, Trent Arnold, Fabinho, Kabak, Robert Milner, Gini, Thiago Silva, Jota, Mane. That's my predicted lineup. FSG Jackson Matildas, it's a waste of money. Saying some desert for Fabinho in the midfield, but I just doubt Klopp does it. Yeah, I think now Reece will get torn. I think he would.
And you're saying Ben Davies wouldn't? You're saying
no, but I'm not saying we get torn.
And Rashford and Pogba wouldn't absolutely decimate Ben Davies. I'm fucking sorry, but it's
I'm not
like
saying, but I think it's the exact same. I'm not saying
one's wet, one's dry. Potato. They're both shit.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're not going to be destroyed, but I think Fabinho, Kabak, are going to get done tomorrow. That's my thing as well. So that's something that's no difference. Either which one they're going to get done, and I think that's going to be a concern tomorroly going to Soldier. honestly, so Ollie got says I'm going to get to my standard Fernandes penalty, so you have to score at least 2 goals if you want to win the game. Cheers, Ollie. Welcome on. FSGR says from Ellis champion to winner. Zane said respect went out the window when Katie got ripped off a minute before half time and bringing Shaq on for shit minutes.
I just want to touch on that comment quickly before you move on. Respect went out the window when Katie got ripped off a minute before half time and bring Shaq on for shit minutes. That to me was probably the best thing Klopp did, because Katie was doing nothing. And I think that was more a stand of, because Klopp has never been known to sub someone. Like, he'll leave them on forever. No matter how rubbish they're playing, he doesn't really make the substitutions we want when he does. And we were all saying Katie needs to go off. Had we had somebody else on that bench, no one would have complained. If we'd have had our normal, like a better bench depth. But I feel like that was the first time Klopp had the bollocks to pull somebody off before half time, and I think he did the right thing pulling Katie off. I mean, Shaq wasn't great, but I think he did the right thing pulling him off.
Well, I think it was, as you said, bring shit for shit on. That's what it was for me. That substitution.
Yeah.
And it made absolutely no sense. Yeah, made no. I don't understand why Kate even started the game. So, but yeah, we can't do nothing about that now. Zane says Reece already got ripped. We know that. How do you know what Davis won't? Zane also says that's like Katie was the only one who broke past midfield defense. Katie shouldn't have started that match. Okay, well, let's go on to our predictions. We'll start with you, Tom. How are you predicting this game?
So, I think my head says it's going to be 1-1. Like I do, I think it's going to be a draw. I want it to be like I can convince myself to think it's going to be an open game and convince myself that Liverpool have to win to have any chance of keeping top 4 alive. Therefore, they're going to come out and attack. If they come out and attack, it opens the game and it allows for goals. So it could be, as I mentioned earlier, like could be 2-2, it could be 3-2 either side, it could be 3-1. I really want that to happen. Every time I want goals to happen, I get a 1-1 or a 0-0. So, like, I'm hoping it isn't. From a United fan's perspective, we're coming off the back of probably the 9-0 against Southampton aside, we're coming off the back of probably our best performance of the season. There's no reason why Ollie shouldn't approach the game in the same manner. Go attacking, doesn't need to be conservative. Like, there's an opportunity for us to put it to Liverpool, who are in poor form. I want to see him do that. I have massive reservations that I've seen it so many times where we come to this game against Liverpool or Chelsea's or Arsenal's and we just don't do it for whatever reason. I don't know why. And my head's telling me that's going to happen again. I hope it doesn't, and I hope, as I said, it's this open, expansive game and the Klopp comes to win it and it's just fucking all-out attack both sides. Like, that's what I'd love to see. I thought that we were going to get that. We beat Leeds earlier in the season, 6-2. 6-1, 6-2. I've had too many beers. 6-2. It's 6-2. I'm pretty sure it was 6-2. But then we played Leeds a few weeks back and I was like, oh, this is going to just be end. It was 0-0. So every time I expect something crazy, I get 0-0 or 1-0. So I'm going to I'll put it on the line and say 1-0. But again, there's no reason why we shouldn't win.
Safe?
Well, I don't do predictions, but I'm done with this season, so feck it. I think we're either going to lose 2-1. I think we're going to be really difficult if we don't score against United. We're either going to lose 2-1 or it's going to be a draw. I don't know how much of a draw it's going to be, but statistically and historically, when you look at our games against each other, it's normally a draw. Most of the time, it's 0-0. Because we just box each other out. Like Tom said, Liverpool play attacking football. United have been playing attacking football. Normally, you go in all guns blazing, you go for the goals. But for some reason, when you come up against your biggest rivals, it's more of a don't let them score rather than we score. That's kind of the mentality that both teams tend to have against each other. Shut the other team out and take a point. I feel like the last few years especially, it's become more about let's take a point rather than try and go for full 3. I'd love to see Klopp come off the gate and take it to United and show them what we're really about still. I'd love us to win, but I don't see us winning tomorrow. I see it's either going to be a loss or a draw. I can't see a win.
Everyone smash that like and the subscribe button. You haven't done. Just look at some of the comments here. Zane says 3-1 we lose. FS Yacht says 2-1. And FS Yacht says actually have a bad feeling of 4-1 United to 1 and looking like a beast. Zane says
I'll turn it off.
Appreciate the love, Jane. That you think it's a good stream. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. I think for me, my heart says 1-1. My head says 2-1 United or 2-3-1. And I think the reason why I'm saying that is purely because Fabinho's going to be in a centre back and not in midfield. And I think our midfield of Gini, Thiago, and Milner's going to get overrun. And there's no one in that midfield that really tackles or breaks up play or controls the game. And I think then you end up making like someone Thiago have to do too much defensive work. That's not his game, rather than doing his normal game. And then I think Milner's getting on. I think Gini's going through the motions as he goes towards the final few months where he's not really doing much. So I think then, and then also our strikers, I don't see them all of a sudden fighting the clinical boots tomorrow. So yeah, I think that's what the scoreline is going to be. So hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully Liverpool can surprise us and get a win, but I'm not putting my house on the market.
I'm not hopeful. But like I said, I'm just done with this season now. Like tomorrow is just kind of like going through the motions. Get this game done. Get West Brom. Get Crystal Palace. Get Southampton out the way. I am done with this season.
So okay, let's yeah, perfect. Yeah, so am I.
For now, I really don't care anymore. Like I just want next season. I want 21, 22, 2020, and 2021 have been a shit year, so bollocks to it. That's how I feel at this point.
Yeah, it's fair. That's fair.
Share some sense. So as we wrap up this show, we'll move on to we've now do Tommy's trivia time.
Oh,
so
no.
we always end the show with something fun.
Oh god. Okay, go. The worst quiz person ever, right here.
It's not really a quiz. It's more like would you rather type question. We say trivia.
Oh, okay.
So anyone in the chat, if you have any good trivia questions, ask us and we'll use those to ask. And also put your answers in the chat as well if you have any answers. So my first trivia one for everyone is you can only have one pill out of the following. There's a magic pill, you can only have one. The first one, A, is superhuman strength. The second one, B, is stay at your current age, never grow old again or die. C, super genius intelligence, like super intelligence to the point where you know everything and you can calculate it, that kind of thing. Or D, the ability to read people's minds. You can only have one pill.
Easy. Mind reading.
And anyone in the chat, you can ask as well. Put yours of your A, B, C, or D.
Mind reading, without a shadow of a doubt. I don't want to stay the same age I am because I do feel that people should just kind of like grow old, and I feel like you need to experience life. You need to grow old, go through your stages, go through the motions. I feel like if you're the only one who stays that age forever, and everyone around you ages, you're going to feel it. It's not going to be nice. So I don't want to age. I think with that much knowledge comes too much power and responsibility, and I feel like it would negatively affect you because you know everything. It would I know for me, it would frustrate me for people not understanding why they don't get it when I get it. But I've said it before. Like I'd read minds 100% every single day of the week. I'd read minds as long as it was like a mind reading where I could choose to read someone's mind, not like constant noise at me. But easy answer. I'd take the pill. I'd be like, mind reading? Like, yeah, I'd do that.
Tom?
I fully agree for all those reasons. I think if I knew everything, I would just be frustrated that like how do you not know that? Or like it would just get boring after a while that I knew everything. And like learning is part of developing. Like you gotta like if you're not learning, like what the hell are you doing? Superhuman strength would be quite good, but again, like at what point am I using it? Like what am I like lifting shit into the shit? yeah. And then what was the other one? Stay the same age for the exact reason Sophie said. I like all your friends would be getting old and dying, and like you'd be still out playing football. You'd have to constantly keep making new friends. You'd be that. No way. So I'd take mind reading.
Just see this in the chat. Klopp out says B, so he or she would go for stay at current age and never grow old. I think I'm a
Always one.
yeah. I'm a D. I'm a D. I want the ability to read minds because you'd know what everyone else is thinking. This is a good one. Zane said read people's minds as well. Zane's got one. If you could visit one place on Earth, where would you go?
Ooh.
Start with these, Tom.
Antarctica. I would love to go to Antarctica. Yeah.
Why Antarctica?
Because I don't know if you can tell fully. I'm sure you can, but I'm quite Irish looking. To say it nicely. So sun holidays, not really my thing, if I'm being honest. I'm more of a let's go skiing kind of guy. But like off to Antarctica, where just like I know obviously it's quite explored now, but like it's just still like it's just like nowhere else on Earth. Like it looks even absolutely amazing. I would go to Antarctica, and it's not that easy to get to either. So like it would be a bucket list place.
Safe.
Can we go with actual discovered places or places that are rumored to be real?
Wherever you want.
Yeah.
Lost City of Atlantis. I want to know if it's real. I want to know if it's there. I want to find mermaids, damn it. I want to be a mermaid. I want to be like Ariel, be like, like that's what I want. I want to find the Lost City of Atlantis. That's what I want to do.
For me, I've always wanted to go Madagascar because it's got its own ecosystem. You have animals there you never find elsewhere on the planet. It was that or the Amazon rainforest. To explore the Amazon rainforest properly, because I think there's still only about 60% of it's not been properly discovered or looked at. So, yeah. Zane's got another one here. If you could be a star in a movie, what movie would you be? Would it be?
Oh, see, this is where my lack of movies comes and affects me.
I would be Aragorn in Lord of the Rings.
Nice.
It's like the shot stuff. Is that a Star Wars?
You would be in Star Wars.
Luke Skywalker.
Oh.
To sacrifice Darth Vader.
I'd be Tom Hanks in Castaway.
Oh, Wilson!
Yeah, it'd be absolutely amazing. 5 years or whatever he spent on an island on his own, just trying to figure it all out. Like,
okay, I've never actually watched the series of films. I'd go Voldemort. Like, I feel like I'd be a very good Voldemort. Like, he who shall not be named. It'd be like she who shall not be named. And I'd be like, that wouldn't like.
Is that Harry Potter?
I'd be Voldemort.
Harry Potter, yeah.
I
Harry
don't
Potter.
see
Very good.
I've never watched them.
No, I've never seen it. I know the name.
I'd be Voldemort.
So my second one for you guys: if you have the ability to bring one animal back from extinction, what animal are you choosing?
Dinosaur.
An animal.
What kind of dinosaur? What kind of? You have to pick a species.
T-Rex.
T-Rex. Yeah.
T-Rex. Without a shadow of a doubt. T-Rex. I'd bring one, not all. I'd bring one back, and it would be my pet. And I'd just ride and be like, "Yeah, bitch, fuck off." I'd be a little T-Rex, like big head, little arms. Yeah, I'm a T-Rex.
Tom.
It's hard not to go down the dinosaur route here, like because the only other animal I know that's extinct is the fucking dodo, and I don't know if anyone wants to bring that shit back. What a shit bird. I probably would bring a dinosaur back, but I might go with so a T-Rex would be good, but then it's fucking gonna kick off and cause trouble, isn't it? I might go with I don't know, the woolly mammoth, or else the bronchosaurus. Is that like the one with the big long neck?
Yeah,
eats trees. One of those motherfuckers. Just because they seem quite harmless unless they're stomping on your house. But it'd be nice just walking through the park and there's a fucking bronchosaurus. Whereas a T-Rex, no one's like, oh look, lovely, a T-Rex. It's like, fuck, a T-Rex. So yeah, bronchosaurus, solid.
I think for me, I'd bring the Megalodon.
Oh
yeah. Which one was the Megalodon?
It's basically a massive great white shark. That's
Oh
like
my God, the Meg. Sorry, yeah.
it's
Is
just
that a
like
thing? Is that a thing?
yeah, it's
Was it a
real.
thing?
It
Yeah, it
was
was
a
real.
thing.
It was a
real.
thing. It
Really?
was real. Yeah, it was like I think the Megalodon was like 15 or 16 feet or something. It was ridiculous. It
Oh
was
my
massive. It
God.
was like 10 times the size of a normal great white shark.
Holy shit. See,
But
there
how
goes
cool
sea
would that
swimming.
be?
Sea
Well,
swimming's
Homie could
gone.
rule the seas and we could rule the land. With
Oh,
our
I've brought back a fucking leaf eater. What have I done with my? What a shit thing I brought back. Raptor.
people with its
Oh,
tail.
Yeah.
I was going to
Whack
bring
people
back.
with its tail while I've got me dino being like with its jaws.
I
I've
was
thought this through far too.
I was
Yeah.
going to bring back Titanoboa, which is it's a massive anaconda. It's huge, the biggest anaconda ever. Like it was like
don't
it
want
was like 24 feet.
unless you got fun.
Jesus, 24 feet. What is
Yeah.
going on here?
It was huge, but it only existed like when the Earth was way more hotter and more oxygen. It was huge.
Okay. Oh,
Good. See you next show. FSG out. So we're back on tomorrow as well. My final one was: would you rather know all the languages in the world, or be able to play all the instruments in the world?
instruments. Oh, I've answered that too quickly. Languages would be
What
quite
was
good,
that?
actually.
Or speak every language in the world fluently, be able to play every music instrument masterly.
Language.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if I could read or write and speak every language fluently with ease, that opens up so many doors. Like no matter where you went, no matter who you met, like you'd be the most sought after person in return. Like career, like I'm going to be bored. I'm going to think like adult head. Career objectives wise, that opens up so many doors, and you'd be like, yeah, fucking rake it in. You can speak Swahili, so can I. Like, you know, you want to speak to that tribe, so can like, yeah.
No, I jumped in way too quickly because again, languages. You're right. Like you could literally just be dropped into any situation anywhere in the world and just converse with somebody about anything. Whereas if I had instruments, I'm just a fucking dickhead in the corner playing the spoons. Because well, I can play that. Oh, what? Is it a violin? Pass it this way.
You
Like,
the guitar, the piano, the cello, the flute, the saxophone.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like,
but
like,
you'd be refined to being like the musical prodigy. Like,
yeah, but I'm not. Yeah,
amongst many other musical prodigies, no one in the world can speak every language.
yeah, but I can't even ask for the instrument I'm looking for. So I don't even know what guitar is in Spanish. You know, like it's useless skill. No, languages. I'm picking languages. I'm changing my answer.
Yeah. I think Zane agrees. Your language would be amazing to talk to everyone.
Yeah,
In the country.
unreal.
That's not me in that. Oh, Tom, that's.
Yeah, language would be the
I
best
don't
way.
even know what guitar it is.
It's true though. Like, what would I be doing? Like, no, it's a terrible skill. Terrible skill.
Oh my god!
I'd need you there, and I'd need to tell you. Can you ask them for the guitar, please? Get the guitar, and then you'd have to be like blah 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 blah, and they'd be like, oh, here's the guitar. You know, I'd be useless.
I'm done. I'm going to bed.
End it there.
Well, yeah, we'll end it there. So I think that's a good place to end it. Yeah. So yeah, everyone you've been in the chat who watches this now and watches later, you've been amazing as always. We'll be back again tomorrow. We're back again tomorrow. We have our match reaction. We'll have a watch along as well with the Man United Liverpool games. Watch the game live with us, and we'll have our post-match reaction after them. So we've got a fun-packed event tomorrow for you. As well, you know, watch this now, watch it later. Do smash the like and subscribe button.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure, Tom, having you on.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure as always. This is the hat trick. This is number 3.
Yes.
So until next season.
Yes. We look forward to having you next season.
Yeah. Same again.
So yeah, on that note, yeah, everyone, we appreciate you. Otherwise, we'll see you. Like I say, we'll see you tomorrow. So join us for either the match reaction or the team sheets, the watch along, and the post match reaction. Otherwise, everyone have a great evening. And we'll see you all soon. Smash the like, subscribe button if you haven't done, and up the Reds.
Technically, we're